Let's continue on with the Flesh and Blood show from 88 films, with the second film in the set, the Flesh and Blood show. This is a kind of proto-slasher movie, came out in 1972. I like the conceit of this one. A group of actors are going to rehearse for a play. They're doing it in a mysterious seaside theatre that hasn't been open in a number of years. The people who are running this show haven't seemed to turn up, so the actors are left in charge and are trying to just work through this play, interpret the material, which they don't really have much of, and try to come up with a great story. Of course, things aren't going to work out like that, and it falls very quickly into a typical, or what would become a typical slasher story, with people just being bumped off every now and again. And one of my favourite things about this was the reasons that they are. You know, someone get bumped off, and then it's a quick scramble to, like, well, hang on, people are going to miss them. We need to have a quick excuse as to why they've left.
Decided to pull out, not my scene. Hope you improvise without me. Please forgive. Angela Wills. And
there is always an excuse as to why people have disappeared and not come back. And I love that kind of rationale where they're thinking about it. They're at least trying. Out of all of the films in this set, the Flesh and Blood show is probably the weakest of them all. Not because it's poor, it's still a good movie, but because it's lacking much of an originality to it nowadays, watching it now. It has some interesting actors. I like the location of this mysterious seaside theatre. I like the confines of a group of actors kind of stuck there, honing and working at their craft.
For Christ's sake, who's blacked us out?
What's happened?
Whatever bloody next?
We can't see anything.
What the hell are you doing up there, Sarah?
The characters were fine. Some of the supporting actors that appear, or characters that appear in it, were genuinely quite interesting. But it's just one of those films that it never offers much in the form of surprises. There's not a great deal of originality to it. It's definitely got a good chunk of the film is exploitation based, and that's fine. It's a reason to get nudity out, and these people just being kind of Lovey's actor doing what they're supposed to do. But I did like the situations, the way it would set up the kills, the way it would use the geography of this location, of the seaside town. It was nice and different for a kind of slasher film. Even the reason behind everything, the person who is behind all of these heinous murders is wonderfully realised at the end. Am I buying it? Maybe, maybe not. Depends what mood I'm in.
I suggest in future you refrain from playing games with the police in the middle of the night.
I don't get you.
Don't you? We don't investigate waxwork murders.
Flesh and Blood show was an interesting idea. It definitely feels, again, like it's honing and stealing from other kind of subgenres and trying to eke into that exploitation, whereas I feel like the rest of the movies in the set definitely have more of a Pete Walker vibe to them. They start to have these similar thematics. They have that similar downbeat energy to it, a kind of nihilistic feeling to them. The Flesh and Blood show has that a little bit, but ultimately it's a slasher, and a fairly competent one as well. What I do like about these movies is the decidedly British feel to them. It's taking genres like Screaming Marianne, which felt a little bit like an Italian giallo. This one feels very much like a kind of proto-slasher that was coming in, an evolution from the giallo film itself. It's taking these genres from different parts of the world and putting a kind of British spin on it. And there is something very interesting about that. You know, seeing a movie filled with characters that I kind of recognise from different parts of my life. I've seen locations that feel very familiar. They don't feel like somewhere that's fantastical or so far away. They feel as if something that's tangible and close by. And I like the fact that these tales can be transported from their Hollywood settings or Italian settings into a British seaside town and still work.
We searched the theatre. Then I went down the passage under the stage again.
It was very dark. And Simon left me the torch.
and the rest of them went to search the theatre upstairs.
Yeah, I enjoyed this one. Definitely my least favourite movie in the set, and a set of movies that I enjoyed them all, will be said. Yeah, so I would love to know your thoughts on the Flesh and Blood show. Let me know in the comment box below whether you loved it, hated it, fell somewhere in the middle. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box below are links to Patreon, membership programme, and manvfilm.com. Always in which you can support me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.